Last episode we built this thing, a box in the sky. Yeah, that's not all. So last episode we built this witch farm, which I went AFK for a bit, and I just also fell into, and now we're out. But I went AFK a bit and I've got plenty of redstone, a stack and 28 and a bit more. And that's enough for me. And it uses boats. So you should go and check that one out. Then, before that, we also built this slime farm. And we're going to be using this today. So, as you can see, if I land this correctly, we've got plenty of slime in here from AFKing. So, I think it's time to put that to good use. So, today we're going to be using slime to get us infinite beacons. So, let's get right into the video. To start with, we're simply going to save and quit. We're not going to be playing on this world for a little bit. So, let's wait for that. And now let's do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new world, preparing for world creation, and we're going to call this Beacon World. Let's just call it that. And of course we're going to put on creative, more world options, and we're just going to keep it as default, and yeah, we're just going to create a new world. And then let's get back to the loading screen. The loading screen takes so long, the loading screen's gonna take forever, da 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 da. Here is the world, here is the seed, and we're going to be leaving this dimension altogether, so let's get us some obsidian, not observers, also flint and steel, because I just got an ice book challenge. Anyway, let's just quickly build this without the corners. Yes, I know, evil. I'm even going to remove them there. Oh, well. And now we can do that there, and simply light it there. And go through. And now what we want to find is a soul sand valley, which we may have found. Well, I've already found one of the things we need, a fortress. Unfortunately, it's in the wrong spot. I guess this could work, but hopefully we want to get a Soul Sand Valley one, which I do actually have pretty near to spawn in my hardcore world. So there's the Soul Sand Valley. In fact, let's just do this, and now we can go super speed. Let's see. We're just simply looking for a fortress now in this biome. Hopefully we find one, so let's just keep looking for a little bit. If you haven't guessed already, we're going to be making a wither skeleton farm, and yeah, here is a fortress, and this is going to be in Soulstorm Valley because almost no other mobs spawn in there other than the mobs spawning in the fortress. Ideally we'll get, yes, here's a more open spot. Yeah, this will do, I think. And now we have to get to designing, so let's get back into creator mode if I can. And I just pressed F3 and there, and creator mode. So I think we may just center around this bit. So let's, well, actually first I'm going to show you something cool. We do this. Now you can see the bounding box of the fortress. So it seems we can go slightly higher. Let's just go over to here, that over the top, yep, okay, and let's say put the spawn platforms there. So let's go like that, da da da, and this is where our spawning platform is going to be centered, and we can just turn that off, and there we go. So now we've got the level of our spawning platforms in, and I just need to fill this out, and I think I'm going to do a relatively small one, not too big. So I think maybe then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, as I still want to use a flying machine to push them. So let's do maybe that much. And then we do this, just like that. And then we can fill in these sides. After a bit of, well, picking and choosing, I've decided I actually want to make this in one chunk, centered around that, so that the portals that we're going to be using all link up, as I wouldn't want them not working. So we're going to just do it in one chunk, and I chose this one. So as you can see, I've stopped the chunk boundary and I've stopped one block before because here there's going to be a portal. No portals on this side, then again one on this side. I'll show you why actually when we get the flying machines in. After placing blocks for a little while, I've just decided to use world edit. So / and then set, and let's do never brick. Where is it? There we go. And there, all done for us. And now we've got this platform. Now we just need to get the portals in, which is really easy to do. All we need to do is a load of obsidian plate. And with the last few slabs, we have both portals in. And of course, at the moment, mobs can easily, basically just walk out, or blazers could at least. So what we need to do is we need to add a little border around the outside. So for that, I'm just going to do that. Actually, we want bottom slab. So that, and also that. Yeah, that should do. Because then we're not using too many materials, but nothing can escape. Other than the baby zombie piglins, which we want to escape, because then they'll just despawn down below, as they won't be pushed by any of these flying machines. So it's just as well that they will be like able to escape basically. But actually I think we need to knock one of these out and put in maybe something like leaves. Yeah, that's quite cheap. So let's put in some leaves, as these are immovable by pistons, well, by slime at least, and we can put them up there and there. And this is where the flying machine will be going through. So basically, let's get some slime blocks to show you. So basically, it's going to be coming out like this, up to the center, which will probably be about here, have a little end bit, and then it'll keep moving across. Then it'll move to here, then to here, and it'll keep moving along this side. Then it'll go back and forth, pushing all the mobs that are in its way. An actual flying machine bit will be tucked away behind here. But anyway, let's get to building this build. I now have both of the flying machines in, so we have one on this side, and then we also have one on this side. As you can see, there's this barrier that goes across, and I had to use 2 because of push limit. That's fine, and it works roughly the same way. So this will just push all the mobs as it goes across into this portal, then when it goes back it will push the other mobs into this portal. So then they will get sent to the overworld. And of course we do need to light these quickly, so one on that side, and then also one on that side. And let's quickly show you how it works. So do that. As you can see, it just goes across, and if I was a mob there, then I'd be pushed into the portal, and then I'll have an automatic return system, of course, which will then return it over here. And then it'll just go back and forth automatically. So let's add in the redstone for that. I quite like the idea of having the redstone on a line behind the portal, as A, if something goes wrong and mobs come out of the portal, then they don't just fall down over here. Instead, they may be pushed over this way or something. So basically, they won't fall through the portal. They'll definitely go through it into the overworld. So I think I'm going to have a redstone line like that. And we need something to trigger these observers. So for that, I'm going to use redstone lamp, as they have a bit of a delay. Okay, so there we go. And we can also do that. And then this is where I'll have a redstone line going between these, and also one on this side, and then a line up to it. Then I could maybe have a clock on this side and automatic return stations over here. So let's do that now. The redstone is now in, and it's pretty simple. So instead of having a clock, I instead opted for another return station that has an on-off switch. So here is the on-off switch, and we need to turn it off. And now, as you can see, when it gets here, it should automatically return. And it sweeps all the mobs across. And then the same should happen on this side and there. So this will just go back and forth, constantly sweeping all the mobs into the portal. And this will also get us blazes and zombie pigmen. So you may also get blaze rods, as well as river skulls and of course a bit of gold, but mainly with skulls. Anyway, this is basically the farm. I think to complete it I could add maybe an iron golem back here, maybe. Depends what I'm thinking. Actually, I don't think we really need the iron golem, just because they'll be being pushed anyway. But anyway, that's basically the farm. Now it's time to build this up on survival. And to stop the flying machine, all I have to do is flick this lever. So now when it comes back here, the lamp stays on even when this observer sends a pulse, so the flying machines don't go back. And then, of course, when I release this lever, then they'll start the cycle again. So that's all that. And now I think I just need to link up a portal thing so that it'll bring all the mobs up to the nether roof. And from just removing a little bit of that fortress, I've already got 2 stacks and 12 nether brick, which I think should be enough actually. Well, probably not actually, but should be enough to get started. And with that taken care of, it's time to actually start building the farm. So let's quickly turn on chunk borders like this, and find a suitable chunk. So maybe this one, or yeah, this one seems good. Now what we want to do is go into mini HUD, and we want to turn that back to on. Now let's get these, and let's build up a bit. So here we go, let's continue building up. And now we will have to probably use this free cam to check whether we're above or below the line. So I think we're above, so let's go a few down. Let's see, is that above or below? I think that might still be one above. Let's go 1, 2. Is that above or below? And I think that is 1 below, which is good. So here we are. Now we're up here, we want to fill out the entire chunk, well, almost. Just going to go right up to the edge on this side, and then we're going to go almost to the edge on this side. So that's 1, and that's the chunk. We're just going to skip 1 block, leave 1 block gap there. And then we can fill in the rest of the chunk like this, leaving another 1 block gap on the other side too. And there we go, this is the border I think. Where's the chunk border actually? Actually it goes back a few blocks, so actually let's remove this entire hill a bit back, so that there are less spawns. And then let's continue removing this until we get to the other side. And I am going to quickly turn off structures. There, now it's a bit easier to see, isn't it? Here we go, I think that's enough of the hill cleared. Let's clear a bit more here too. There we go. Now that that's cleared a bit, we can continue expanding this platform. So here we go, 1, 2, chunk border, and we can continue this way. Now let's just remove this, and also a bit more. Let's do that, and maybe something like that. So we want to remove as much of this terrain as possible, so you get as good spawns as possible. And I'm on 4 minutes on the fire resistance, which isn't bad. Let's just continue placing these. Now that we've got the outline all in, we want to start by filling in this platform. And this is where all the mobs are going to be spawning, so we want to make it nice and filled in. And it seems I'm actually out of nether bricks, so I'll have to come back down here and continue mining. Well, I'll have to actually continue mining rather than falling through the floor, as that's not really mining. So here we go, and there we go. And no skull, which is unfortunate. We don't really need it, as we're building a wither skull farm. After quickly mining away at it, and replenishing my fire resist, we now should have enough to complete this platform. It seems I was wrong. We need 3 more blocks, which is sad. But luckily it's as simple as coming down here and going 1, 2, 3. There. And now we've got all the blocks we need. There we go, land here and there. But now I lied, it's not all going to be nether brick. We actually need to put some walls in, and this will stop magma cubes from spawning. So what we want to do is actually, I think I'm going to load the schematic now, so we can go here, load schematic, and we're going to go with a skeleton farm. Load schematic. Let's see, where did that place that? Now we will want to go to here, and then we'll want to go schematic placement, configure, move to player, and still slightly off. And that's no problem, because what we can do is it's 1, 2, so 1, 2, 1, 2, and then it needs to go 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3. Now we can quickly go in here, move to play again, and there, all perfectly lined up. Now we can just remove these temporary blocks. And also we will want to quickly go in here, and we can simply change that to 4. There we go, and here we have it. So as you can see, we see little red blocks, just mine through those, and then as you can see, we went to place a wall there, so let's place that. After finishing up on the nether side, I decided to go and do the world side, which is basically just 2 portals and a bridge connecting them, and then also do the killing chamber, which you can see behind me. So basically all it is a portal, a little drop like this, so they all come out of the portal, and then in here we have a boat with a chicken and also a zombie pigman in it. And then some other ones have got stuck in here, and all of these things are just pushing all of the mobs out of the portal and down here into the killing chamber. And as you can see, it is very fast, so let's just do this to get rid of them. So there we go, almost done, just got to hit a bit more. But as you can see, it is very, very fast. Let's just hit a bit more, and there. Now and they're still going. But basically it's very fast, and as you can see from a little tiny bit of AFKing, and by that I mean tiny bit of AFKing, it's what we've got. So 5 skulls and then 13, so that's 18 skulls. 18 divided by 3, so that's 6 withers that we can spawn. And then I can just keep AFKing here, and also it does get me a lot of XP, so I'm on 53 now. And it also gets loads of blaze rods, loads of coal, so blaze rods for fuel, coal for, well, fuel or building or something, bones for, well, maybe like a tree farm, and yeah, and a bit of gold too. So I've got a stack of 2 stacks and maybe almost 3, and then we've also got 1, 2, 3. So we've got another 3 stacks there, so about 6 stacks of which will give us almost a stack of ingots of gold. So this is an overall very good fortress farm, and let's quickly turn on our auto clicker. And I'm using sweeping edge to kill them, as well. Actually, let me show you. So if I was just swinging at the mobs like this, then if I was, well, actually I could do it like this, but basically I don't want to do it like that. I feel like this is probably easier. So just quickly put this back where it should be, and there we go, and there. And now just using sweeping edge I feel like is more reliable. And also we should probably turn those down, but there we go. Sweeping edge is probably more reliable, so that's why I'm using that. And as you can see, I've also broken the hole in the bedrock, and that's just so I could get up here. And then let's go down here. So I've got the despawn spear on using mini HUD. As you can see, there aren't many many mobs actually spawning around here, which is good because we want them all to be spawning in here. And now for some reason this has happened. I don't know why, but they're going off time. But basically, as you can see, they're in there and they get pushed into the portals. I guess it doesn't matter as it's still working, but I may come down and quickly click this lever, turn them off, and then flick it again to turn it back on, set it in sync, because then it'll push them all at once. But here you can see we've got, well, these ones, and then they all get pushed into the portal like that. And then up here, and I did, yeah, as I thought I'd broken this, so just put that back in, flick that, and then also turn that back down. There. Anyway, so that's how the nether side works. Now that we have all these wither skeleton skulls, we need some way to easily convert them into beacons, because that's basically all they're useful for. So I think it's time to start building an automatic wither killer, and this will make use of the end portal, well, the return end portal in the end, because of obsidian, and it'll automatically kill it for us. And also, on the way back, well, while I was there, I made this little box of goodies that we get from the farm. So you get loads of blaze rods, as you can see, quite a bit of gold. Not a gold farm per se, but a reasonable amount of gold. And also a load of bones too. And a load of coal, because that's a stack and 34 coal blocks. And that's quite a bit, so that'll do me for quite a while now. Now it's time to start gathering materials. In the end, I decided that for the amount of wither skeleton skulls that we get, although it's a lot, I can't be bothered to AFK for too long, and we don't really need too many beacons, so I've decided to just not build an automatic wither killer. Instead, we're just going to use this EVC method to, well, kind of easily kill it. And this will actually automatically kill it, but it'll take a long time, so I'm just going to use my sword with a few crits and then it'll be done. So we can easily turn all of our wither skulls, of which we have a few more left, all into beacons. There's the first star, and then we can simply do this again, and 1, 2, 3. And I just do this until all the wither skulls are gone. Here is the last wither, so once we've got rid of it, just like this, just a few more hits, and there we go. And that's all withers done. So now we've got 10 nether stars and 2 skulls remaining. So let's go back home and craft some beacons. And here are 10 beacons, there we go, and 10 of them. And that should do us for quite a while, and then we'll take a quick nap here. There we go. Got to wait for it. Sleeping. There. Now we're awake. That's all for today's episode. Goodbye, and remember to check out some other videos. Bye.